thank you all for coming. We appreciate the media for getting this out as quickly. We could not do what you're doing. We appreciate that very much. First, I'd like to thank God because of the less injuries we had last night. And number two, I also want to thank the first responders. They did an incredible job setting up a command center, getting on this job very quickly last night, and as well as CWL and others. Also, if you want to volunteer, there is a number that you can call. We've had several calls for volunteers, and we want to make sure we're coordinated on that effort. That number is 870-935-5562. Also, there have been conversations about donations. We do not need them now. Might later, and we'll certainly keep them there. Also, I want to remind you that even though we've had a tornado that's come through Jonesboro, let me make it very clear that we are still under COVID-19, and we want to do everything we can with the volunteers, workers, helpers, and keeping the distance on that at this time. So again, that's all I have. I want to turn it over now to Judge Marvin Day. Judge.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you all for being here, helping us get our message out today. Just a few things let me update you on. We've been told there were 18 injuries in this event last night, and 2 were admitted to the hospital. No fatalities. Thank God. We were reported just in the last 30 minutes the rescue effort is complete, and we have started cleanup and recovery at this time. We do want to modify our curfew. It will be from 9 p.m. till 6 a.m. tomorrow. If you need to go to work, go to work. We know a lot of the factories are trying to stay going, so please do that. We'll keep that, changing that day by day. One of the big issues that we've already seen here, unfortunately, is there's a lot of people here out to scam you and do improper things. So please look the city in their efforts to get a permit. So please make sure that if someone is trying to do work for you, that they have a permit from the city of Jonesboro to do business. It's called a privilege license. We're working on that. Right now today, we've got 2 areas for you to take. They can take trees and brush only. Take those there, and we worked it out with Legacy Landfill, and they will be open today from noon until 6. It's quite muddy out there, but they're going to try to help you the best they can. Landfill, just residential debris, construction type things out there. Like the mayor said, there's a lot of people really trying to help and volunteer. Please be safe. Don't step on nails. Be careful. Help your neighbors. But right now, just please stay home if you can and practice the social distancing. We're having a lot of problem with people just out sightseeing, and that's not helping. These news media, social media, have been out there, and they've got better pictures than what I can see. So please lean on them at this time. One last thing. Sheltering, Red Cross. If you need sheltering or need assistance in that way, please contact the Red Cross at 932-3212. I'm going to turn.
Got donations of cash also.
Okay. And also one other edit. If you would like to donate cash to the Red Cross, that would be the appropriate place at this time. That may be changing as this continues. I'll turn it over to Congressman Crawford. Thank you for being here to support us. It means a lot.
Well, let me just add my thanks to the first responders, of course, but leadership here in the city of Jonesboro, Craighead County, and the support that's being shown from the community around Craighead County. I've seen first responders from all over the region, even other states that have come to lend their support and their assistance in this effort, and we appreciate that. My job at the federal level is to make sure that we have the appropriate response to support what our counterparts here in the state be a resource for the local community. So we're happy to do that. You can reach my office anytime, and we have folks standing by for individuals who need us to open cases for the relevant agencies. We're here to do that. And again, just can't thank our first responder community, our police chief, our sheriff, mayor, county judge, all those who have responded, and just, so thankful and blessed that we didn't have any suffering or loss of life. We appreciate the community and their willingness to volunteer and step up in our time of need. Thank you.
Thank you, Congressman. You got it? You got it. No, you got it.
Hey, we've got, is Kevin Miller around? Sir. Hey, can you tell us about the recovery response situation?
Operations are now. We've had no additional reports of any serious injuries, and no additional reports or no reports of any fatalities at this time.
And now we want Police Chief Rick Elliott.
Good morning, thank you. As far as the law enforcement aspect on this, I've put the department on 12-hour shifts. We have supplemented our force with officers from other agencies from this part of the state. We had an overwhelming response from our law enforcement brothers and sisters. So we're utilizing these officers to provide security on these structures, these areas that's been hit hard. So we appreciate the assistance from law enforcement in the area and the offers that we've had from across the state and neighboring states that have reached out and said they would send officers and or assets to us if need be. So we had a great response from the law enforcement community. I appreciate everyone that has stepped up and offered help. Right now we think we have everything under control. Again, we just encourage people, please follow the curfew guidelines. If you are caught out, you will be dealt with, and we're going to take it serious. But we're here to protect the citizens of Jonesboro, and we're going to do so, and we will all get through this together. And it's a team effort, and as everybody has mentioned, it's all working together. This is what we do day in and day out in Jonesboro. We all work together. So again, thank y'all for being here and getting this information out.
And now I'll call County Sheriff Marty Boyd.
First of all, I just want to say how lucky we are in Jonesboro. Casualties could be so much worse than what we've seen. Very fortunate, and thank God that he was watching out for our citizens of Craighead County and Jonesboro, last night. Just to second what Chief Elliott said, right now we still have a lot of officers, first responders out doing their jobs. We have intersections down. Be careful, and if you can avoid, driving around, please do so, because right now the less traffic we have, the faster we can get back to normal operations and get things rolling again. So, if you don't have a purpose to be there, please stay away, because we got people doing a serious job out there. We have buildings that's still not safe to be in, that we're still trying to verify if electricity's out or it's on. Some low lying lines and things like that on the streets we're still working on, and it's going to be a several day operation to get that cleaned up. But the volunteers have been great. We have some needs right now this time, but in days going down the road we're going to need more, and we got to make sure we have fresh bodies available. So we're trying to rotate as much as possible. But like I said, we're lucky to have the community that we have, that we all bond together and work together so well. And I just want to thank everybody for their efforts today.
What are the areas that people should avoid?
Right now, the main areas would be Caraway Road, Highland, Drive and Stadium, Red Wolf, excuse me, and east towards Farville and Brooklyn area.
Mostly the Turtle Mall area.
It is in that area, and then northeast.
And thank you for starting that. Do we have any other questions? Anybody, John?
So there are some people that live around the Fargo curve area, and kind of Old Bridger Road and that. There are some people who lost their homes, and area churches are trying to get supplies to those people. Like, how do people be able to help those people, you know, like as churches are trying to help some of their people who live out in that area?
They're moving in now.
We've heard from, in fact, my pastor texted me this morning. I think the best thing for them is they need help getting their things cleaned up. And because there's a lot of damages. I was there early this morning, John. Most of those houses, not all, are substantially damaged, not limited. So I think there's things, like the sheriff was saying, we need to be careful going in structures. There's somebody be there, but I think the churches are already heading up that way to assist them.
When will that area be open for people that could go and help assist some of those? Like we have some elderly people and others who, you know, if churches want to go, because right now everyone's kind of being turned away and turned around.
We're moving in now. Search and rescue section is complete. So I spoke with the pastor at the Rock Church. He had about 100 volunteers staged out there. So they're going to start hooking up with the residents that have been hit, and they're already deploying to those areas as we speak. So I will have officers at those intersections. We're identifying the people that are going in to the residents in this caravan of individuals. So it still will be restricted, but that is taking place as we speak now.
Thank you.
We're in good shape.
Thank you.
We were told 18 injuries. Do we know how many are serious, or any of them serious? Do we know?
Non-life threatening is the last word that we got. So as far as anything injury-wise, they don't know, other than just non-life threatening.
What are the specific streets that are closed, like totally closed? Or any specific streets are totally closed?
Yes, in the neighborhoods off the Prospect, Elizabeth, and those areas, those neighborhoods are totally shut down. It was a hard-hit area, so we're restricting all traffic through that area.
Thank you, Chief.
All right. Yes, ma'am.
I don't know if the judge may know, or you may know Chief Elliott, but have you guys heard from any mayors in Brooklyn or Lake City as far as the damage that may have occurred in those areas?
Yes, Brittany, I sure have. I spoke to Mayor Jones last night and again this morning. Their biggest hard-hit areas, the Bush Ag-Route facility and the Carter Cox warehouse next to it were damaged substantially. They had about 20 houses in Brooklyn on the east side of town, across the tracks, that had varying level of structural damage, no injuries at all. But that's their biggest thing right now. I think he did not say there were any structures that were completely destroyed, just significant damage. Lake City, I texted with the mayor. He didn't mention any needs. He was just reaching out to see what he could do to help us.
Okay, and also, though the governor shut schools down, public schools down through April 17th due to the coronavirus pandemic, have you guys heard of any Jonesboro area schools that had any damage to the tornado?
I don't think we've seen any damage to schools. Chief, no, I don't think we had any damage to schools we're aware of. Any other questions? This is such a great place to live, and people love each other, and it's really cool. And it's not just Craighead County. It's I looked up this morning and I was driving out and I see people from Pulaski County here, and I was out at daylight. How'd they get here so quick? I see all the county judges around and mayors around, and just saying, what can I do to help? It's great.
Can you say your name one more time, please?
Yes, ma'am. Marvin, Craighead County Judge.
Well, I think, as the judge had said a while ago, we've had an outpouring of people, 33 calls today. We've had calls from a lot of state agencies, AEDQ calls, allow us to burn free, as well as the governor's office calling, and Senator Cotton. State agencies is going to back up and support us with this effort. We're the boots on the ground, but they also want to know what we're doing and what they can do to help us do that. So I certainly appreciate that. My heart goes out to them as well. As far as bears concerned, I've had bears all the way from Mountain Home offered to bring any type of equipment here, bobcats, dump trucks, etc., to help us do that. And it just goes to show you in the state of Arkansas, we have a lot of people, we all stick together. And so this is the most loving, benevolent community that I've ever lived in. And we'll get through this. Just bear with us as we take each step, one step at a time. Thank you very much.
Anything else? Yes, ma'am.
Have you guys heard any word from CWL or Craighead Electric regarding
Last night I went by City Water and Light on the way home. They were in full response. They were, as I was talking to them last night, they were calling in outside contractors and other people to come in and help. We've not got an update today, but I think they said all of their substations were up last night, which is that's really a big deal, and they're just working on the distribution network out of that. But I'm sure they'll have more comments on that today. But they've got a lot to do, and they were
Do you have any updates on the airport and flights will continue to go through the airport?
I've not heard anything. We found out a few minutes ago that it is shut down. They were dealing with a fuel leak. As far as any other details, I don't think we've heard anything.
Is there anything you can tell us about the train issues that happened there as back cleanup?
I really can't. Sam, I was out there this morning. They have a huge...
Let Anthony speak to that.
You got that?
I got a little bit of
Oh, good. Thank you.
I'm Anthony Coy. I'm the Director of Emergency Management for Craighead County. On the train derailment that occurred during the tornado, we had all the pieces were in place. The response could not have gone any better. Our event manager at the state EOC happened to be the state hazmat officer, so he immediately requested the list of cargo for that train. The absolute worst thing on that train was ethanol. So we were able to tell St. Bernard's Hospital and the other medical facilities that you could remove your hazmat suits. And they said there was nothing on the train that we needed to concern ourselves with. The tornado response was our primary function. So that was a blessing. So right now UP has already taken that over, and in essence it's just a big wreck that they've got to clean up. Thank the Lord.
Dr. Shane Spikes has just contacted us with an update. We now have 22 injuries at our two major hospitals. He says all were minor, which is a blessing, and the two have stayed overnight, as we said so far. I think this number can grow, as our chiefs have said. A lot of things are going on now, and people need to be very careful walking around all the damage right now.
Can I add to that?
Yes, please add, Anthony.
Along those lines, I would want to get the message out to the public. If you're working in your own yard, if you're working in a neighbor's yard, if you're with a church group that's going to help, please dress appropriately. Flip-flops and shorts and t-shirts are not the way to do this kind of work. If that is the way you show up to do that work, you'll be sent home. Dress yourself for safety. The appropriate shoes, long pants, things that you can do to mitigate any injuries to yourself.
Crawford got something.
Yeah, Congressman Crawford has something else to say.
This may have been touched on already, but you know, in the midst of this response, maintaining the appropriate posture with regard to COVID-19 is going to be an added challenge to what we're doing. So we want people to be conscious of the fact they need to protect themselves and others with regard to COVID-19 protocols. And one other thing I'd like to say too, the media response to this has been great, and I appreciate the information that you've provided to your viewers, listeners, readers. There's one in particular I have to acknowledge that really shows how important the investment in the community is. And that's Ryan Vaughn and Zach Holder, who kept on with coverage even after the National Weather Service downgraded conditions. That was an audible they made at the line of scrimmage, and they made the right call, and that saved lives. And so, as a former member of the media, I think sometimes we pile on the media a lot. And what I wanted to do is pile on some praise today and say thank you for helping save lives. And particularly that team at KAIT, Ryan Vaughn, Zach Holder, and his team that did an outstanding job.
That pretty much covered. I want to tell you one last thing. The Office of Intergovernmental Affairs is the liaison to the White House, has contacted all appropriate parties, including the governor, and I think the mayor will ask the governor for a state emergency this afternoon. We'll see how that moves on. Thank you guys for coming out, and I'll let you know if there's going to be another press conference anytime soon.